A very good day to all of you. Today we are going to continue the sixth lesson from grade 10 Health and Physical Education lesson series. And our lesson is on adhering to rules, regulations and ethics in sports. In the previous part of this lesson, we talked about rules and regulations in sports and why we need rules and regulations for sports. And in this part of the lesson, we are going to talk about evolution of the Olympics and about doping in sports and different types of sports activities or physical education activities that can be conducted at school level. So to start off with the evolution of the Olympics, when we speak about sports, we are always reminded of the word Olympics. It is because this Olympics means an international sports competition in which almost all the countries in the world take part. And winning an Olympic event is considered a great honor. So although sports is considered as a very dignified event, there are instances where sports has caused much frustration to people and has caused damage to its own dignity. So some of such instances are match fixing and doping in sports, which we'll be talking about them in the later slides. So it's important for us to learn how Olympic Games evolved over time to its present status. And if we talk about the history of Olympic Games, the first Olympic Games were held in Olympia, Greece in 776 BC, and the competitions took place near Pisa in Athens. And then there are many legends about how the Olympics started. One says that Hercules, son of Zeus, who is the king of gods, started the Olympics in memory of Zeus. And there's another legend which says that Prince Pelopas, who fought against King Onesimus to marry the king's daughter, defeated the king and started holding Olympic Games to celebrate his victory. And then if we talk about ancient Olympic rules and rewards, the winners received a wreath of olive leaves and they were treated like heroes. However, in its early years, women were not allowed to take part in the Olympic Games. And then if we talk about the Roman influence on Olympics, after the Romans had invaded Greece in 146 AD, the Olympic Games came under Roman influence, and as a result, games in which men used animals were added. Men started using animals in their games. However, Emperor Theodosius, who was dissatisfied with the violent nature of those games, banned Olympic Games in 394 AD. And then if we look at modern Olympic Games, this was started in 1896 AD. A Frenchman, Pierre de Coubertin, he started the modern Olympic Games. And the objective of holding the Olympic Games was to promote world peace and to strengthen the relationships between nations through the games. And several organizations were created to work for the development of sports and to maintain its dignity. Out of them, International Olympic Committee stands out the most. So the modern day sporting events have become highly competitive because the participants engage in sports as professionals. It is their living. And as a result, participants always try to boost their performance to achieve victory. because this victory is so much important for them as they are playing these sports not just for fun but as a profession. So there has been an increasing trend in doping incidents in sports. So if we look at what doping means, doping refers to the use of banned substances or methods, that means prohibited substances or methods by athletes to enhance their performance. This is considered cheating and this is strictly prohibited in sports. So, however, the victories they achieve through the use of performance enhancing drugs, these are temporary, and such harmful drugs can also cause a direct threat to their sporting career. Let's talk about that. And these harmful drugs also cause physical damage to the users in the long run. And competitors' urine and blood samples are often used to verify if such drugs have been used. So why doping is banned? Because it's an unfair advantage. It gives the doped athletes an advantage over others, which is unfair for the others. And also there are health risks involved in it. It can cause heart problems, organ damage, and other hormonal issues as well in the long run. And it also violates sports ethics. So that is why doping is banned. And doping is, like I said before, usually detected by urine and blood tests. So there are many consequences of doping in sports. So one is that it can harm health and even cause death over time. And athletes caught causing these drugs, they can be banned from sports. They might not be allowed to play that sport for their entire lifetime. And also their victories can be cancelled and medals taken away. Like you might have heard a lot of news related to this, such type of consequences, and there are so many doped athletes out there whose victories and medals have been taken away. And doping also brings shame to both the athlete and to their country. So these are like some of the consequences of doping in sports. Now we are moving on to the next part of the lesson, which is about sports events and health and physical education programs held at school level. So here you have a whole list of events that can be conducted at school level. Inter-house sports meet, physical fitness programs, programs on sports and physical education, other physical education days, appraisal of athletes or award of colors, health week, mosquito control Shramadana, oral health workshops, which means regarding dental health, workshops to create awareness about non-communicable diseases, and World Tuberculosis Day. So we'll be talking about some of these events separately in the next few slides. I think everybody knows about the Inter-House Sports Meet. This is an annual event. That means you have it almost every year, and it is held with the objective of developing sporting skills of the students. So in the sports meet, the students are usually divided into a few houses, and the competitions are held in a selected number of events. And then the houses are awarded points based on the performance in the athletes belonging to those houses. And each house is ranked according to the points they win. So that's how the sports meet is conducted. And there are many objectives which are expected to be achieved through inter-house sports competitions. And you have another list of objectives here. Like it provides opportunity for every pupil to take part in sports events. Like everybody gets a chance to engage in some kind of sports to showcase their skills. And also it's a great opportunity for the students to develop their leadership qualities and also to develop their personality development. And it is also a chance for the appraisal of the sports talents to encourage students to engage in sports more and more by awarding them with certificates and other kind of prizes, and developing skills related to teamwork. So most of these events are teamwork, like they have to work as a house representing their house. So it develops skills related to teamwork and promote collective action and team spirit, which also goes by this, and develop skills related to communication and organization of events. You learn how to organize a certain event, and that is a great learning that you don't get from your books. And then train students to accept victory and defeat alike. You learn how to accept both victory and defeat alike. And also the students to adopt a healthy lifestyle because they become physically active, and grooming pupils to face challenges. They might face a lot of challenges when organizing the the events and everything all together. Uh, it helps students to face challenges and then they learn how to overcome them, which is really useful when it comes to real life. So here you are given a model of how duties and responsibilities in organizing an inter-house sports meet can be devolved. So this is only a model, and so that means it can have changes when it comes to your school. So as you can see, it starts from the principal and goes down along the deputy principals, assistant principals, and then there's the teacher in charge of sports who is like the chief organizer, and under that teacher comes the sports subcommittee and teachers in charge of houses. And then under the teachers in charge of houses, you have the house captain, sports captain, house vice captain, sports vice captain, treasurer, vice treasurer. There are committee leaders and sports team leaders. And there are also other sports subcommittees like the finance committee taking care of the financial side of the sports meet, food committee taking care of the treats which should be given to the guests and to the competitors, athletes and spectators, decoration committee in charge of displays, invitation and reception, documentation and certificates, trophies and awards committee in charge of equipment, transport committee. So there's a whole lot of things going behind an inter-house sports meet. So this is just a model and it can have changes depending on different duties and responsibilities. So it's better to have a certain understanding of how duties and responsibilities are devolved in a sports meet. And another type of events are the school physical fitness programs. So it's important that the students gain some outdoor activities because it contributes a lot in maintaining their good health. And the school physical fitness program is conducted at every school with the idea to create a healthy and active generation in Sri Lanka. So the Ministry of Education has introduced separate sets of physical exercises for students of primary classes and for students of secondary classes. And it is compulsory for every school to engage all the students in physical exercises. Usually it's held right before the assembly or after the assembly, likewise in the morning. However, it's compulsory for the students to engage in this physical fitness program. And in addition, there are various other physical fitness programs organized at school level. So apart from the sports programs that we discussed before, there are other sports programs held at school level, like different sports competitions, training camps for athletes, training camps for team events, and then there are camps related to outdoor education. There are fitness tests for players or athletes once in a while, and there are drill displays. Apart from the sports meet drill display, there might be other drill displays, and even the scout and girl guide camps, these can also be considered as other sports programs, cadet coaching camps. So all these are another variety of sports programs that are held at school level. Then there's the sports day or the physical education day. So the idea of holding a sports day or a physical education day at school level is to conduct a one-day workshop. So this is often a one-day workshop, and the idea is to develop sports or physical education skills of the students. And there are some of the activities that can be done during such programs. So as you can see on this slide, implementing a program to check the physical fitness of every pupil, and then measuring the body mass index of the students. So you already know what this BMI means. And then implementing a program to improve their nutritional status. It could be an awareness program, it could be something more engaging like some cooking classes. So it depends. And then organizing a sports tournament. So it's not exactly the sports meet, but some kind of other sports tournament. And then directing students to create and play simple games or improvise forms of games that they already play, encouraging the students to play games, either simple or some kind of an improvised game. And also implementing awareness programs on the importance of engaging in sports and physical exercises, because there could be students who are wondering, why should we even engage in sports? Why should we even engage in physical exercises? Can't we just learn at the school? Aren't we coming to the school just for learning? So there are actually students who think like that. So they need some sort of an awareness like this. So they can be done uh, through these workshops. Accord recognition to sports persons, also known as the Colors Award. So I think you are more familiar with that word when you say Colors Awards. So pupils, or I mean the students who display their outstanding talents in various sports or games, they deserve some recognition at school. Therefore, the school should have some formal means of recognizing such students. One such way is to award certificates and colors annually to students who show outstanding talents in sports events. And other than that, students can also be encouraged to engage in sports by publishing newspaper reports, by displaying their reports on the school notice board about those who have excelled in various events, by displaying their names on banners, and by appreciating them at the school assembly. So those kind of things can be done other than the colors awards. So however, it's important to recognize the students who excel in sports. So we have almost come to the last part of the lesson, and it's about the Health Week, another type of event that can be held at school level. So you must be knowing that this Health Week is usually declared at schools annually. It happens annually, And during this week, various programs related to health are implemented. And the whole idea of holding a health week is to identify and conduct the activities that need to be done in school to create a healthy school environment. So the whole idea is to find out activities and to conduct such activities in order to create a healthy school environment. So there's a huge list of activities in your textbook, and I've come up with some of them. Conducting a Shramadana campaign at school, removing dangerous and unsafe conditions prevailing in the school environment. It could be, for example, it could be a huge tree with bigger branches, and then exhibiting posters and paintings related to good health. So these posters or paintings can be put up on the notice board. Then next point, inculcating the habit of taking nutritional food like kolakanda among students. So if it's possible, kolakanda and such nutritional foods can be sold at the school canteen. And then engaging students in activities such as cleaning the school environment. The students should be encouraged to clean their school environment. I mean, not only during this health week, but almost every day when they are at school. And implementing counseling programs. So it's not only about physical health, but also about the mental health of students as well. So that brings us to the end of the 6th lesson from grade 10 Health and Physical Education lesson series. There are some more lessons to come. Thank you very much for listening, and please stay tuned for more lessons. And have a great week.